Hey everybody, it's Cooking with Cory video. Sorry it's really loud in here. I tried to prep everything before I logged on, and it got really smoky in here, so not good. But anyway, I started cooking the potatoes. I did it like the last time. Pretty much this isn't that much of a new video. I think I've made steak and potatoes for you guys before. So anyway, but this is the last of my deer meat. So what I got in here is my fried potatoes. I soaked them in a brine solution for a while, which, I mean, it was just salt water, pretty much, which, you know, not that sexy, you know, salt water. I like to take a little bit of garlic salt and flavor them up, and maybe even a pinch of paprika and some other flavors to put in there, just because, you know, who likes boring potatoes? Nobody wants a boring potato. So I'm going to put you guys down here real quick so you can kind of see the action on the stove, and hopefully I can turn this fan off now because it looks like most of the smoke has cleared the building. So, oh here, look here. Alright, so I got my onions and my steaks cooking in the same pan. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. So, I do that this time just because I'm using butter instead of bacon grease on the steak. So butter cooked steak is really good. I don't know if, I learned that from an old cop friend of mine. One of my buddy's dads was a cop, and that's how he cooked it. A little bit of butter, a little bit of Worcestershire on there, and then you keep the onions and the mushrooms on a different side of the pan, and you kind of fry them babies up together like this. And the weird thing is, like, mushrooms shrink. Like, I put a big fistful of mushrooms in there. You know, I don't mind. I like mushrooms, so I don't mind grabbing a handful of mushroom and just chunking it on in the pan. I didn't use that much onion because I'm kind of short on onions, and I don't feel like going back to the store, so I just only put a little tiny bit in there. And then my steaks are probably done. I mean, I don't like my steak being really, really heavily done, and these still got a little bit of blood on them, so I'm going to take them off the fire. Because I like bloody steak. Again, if you don't remember, when you poke your steaks, that's well done, right? If it smushes about your nose, it's well done. Ooh, that's spicy. And, you know, and then you got medium, medium rare, and rare. Anyway, that's just a good guide to go off of if you don't know how to determine how done meat is. And I think I've shared that before, but I don't know. Nobody's watching. I don't care. Anyway. I'm going to flip these taters. Potatoes. Bacon potatoes. There we go. Yeah. So we'll flip these guys over. And we'll put the lid back on, keep the heat in there. So, yeah, this is just kind of a short video. I haven't been making very many lately because I haven't really been cooking a whole lot. Whenever Rachel comes down, we usually end up going out to eat. So I don't make anything really big then. Or if I go up there, I don't think to make a video if I'm cooking up there. But anyway, so you just want to cook this stuff till it's, you know, it doesn't have to be totally mushed, but it needs to be, you know, you want it to be squishy, and so it's not unpleasant to chew on. Some people don't really like their mushrooms all the way done. They like them like raw, like you put in a salad, so more power to them. I like my mushrooms done. And you just scoop them right out of the pan, put them right on there. And since I cooked them with the Worcestershire and butter, the butter browned the meat a little bit different than it does if you used bacon grease, and it'll give it a little bit different flavor. So I mean, I try to change it up for you guys so you're like not watching the same boring stuff, because as much as I like to be creative, when it's just cooking for myself, I really don't get that adventurous, you know, making different recipes and stuff. If you send me recipes on YouTube, or you say, hey man, why don't you try this or that, I will retain those. As long as it's not like the expensive mac and cheese one that I did, because that was really good mac and cheese, but whoo, boy, that was a little bit expensive. It was $8 just for the cheese for that. So, like I said, I don't mind making stuff, and I don't mind eating stuff. I like to eat, but usually not a big fan of spending $8 for mac and cheese. All right, so I got this a little bit wet. That's how you kind of care for your cast iron. If you are not a cast iron cook and you don't know how to cook in cast iron, you just throw a little bit of water in there and throw it back on the heater and let it bubble up. If it's got sticky stuff, just throw a little more water in there and it'll bubble it off. And then once it's all bubbled off, you just wipe it with either a washcloth or a dry paper towel and just wipe it out and make sure it's still got that greasy grease on there, because that's always a good thing. And I'm drinking my Sumatra blend coffee because my friend Michael Lee told me Sumatra blend has less of the acids or something in it. I don't know. Whatever that's bad in coffee that was tearing up my guts, he told me that this would make it better. So I appreciate the shout out. Alrighty. Well, it will get interesting here on these potatoes because I let these soak like a long time, and I think the last time I made potatoes for you guys I didn't let them soak very long. What the heck? My potatoes are not turning out very good. Might see a fail here. Might see a fail on the Cooking with Cory show. Not that I ever fail at cooking, because it happens. I do fails occasionally. I don't usually film them, but since most of all my videos are live, you get to see when I do occasionally mess up. Let's see, let me slide these guys around. See, potatoes usually aren't a big deal. I mean, if you got like a new cook, you know, and they're looking for something easy to cook, potatoes and eggs are usually the things you teach them on, because they're pretty hard to mess up. I mean, if you crack the egg, well, you make them scrambled, you know, whatever. It's all good. But for whatever reason, maybe it's because I did use bacon grease on the potatoes, because potatoes are kind of not very flavorful if you don't put something in there. But for whatever odd reason, these potatoes, they only browned on one side, and when I flipped them, they turned white, which is weird. Huh. Give these babies a little flippity flop right here. So I noticed a weird thing. One of my Facebook follower friends posted looking for LGBTQ alphabet soup thing, you know, in the South Bend area, and I was like, that person's not gay. Like, why would they do that? But anyway, apparently, like, they think gay people are fun and they want to go hang out with the gay community. So more power to them. But I just thought that was weird, like a hetero couple looking for gay couples to hang out with. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just, in my mind, that just takes me as odd. Alright, sometimes when your cast iron wants to be stubborn, you gotta take the scraper to it. Not a metal scraper, mind you. I mean, you could, because it's cast iron, you could use metal. But you really don't want to grind off your glazing, or your like the meat and the scraps and the crap that's still stuck to it is what makes the stuff flavorful for the next meal. At least in my opinion. So, anyway. So I use one of these things from Pampered Chef. It's the thing that comes with all your Pampered Chef stuff. Each thing comes with one, so you only really need one to clean your Pampered Chef. So I keep it so that I can clean my pots and pans and get the stuff out without scraping them. Because nothing grinds my gears more than somebody sitting there with a metal utensil trying to scrape a non-stick pan, or, you know, taking something and just grinding the crust out of my cast iron skillets, because they're not made for that. You want that nice crust going on there. All right. But anyway, so the steaks have come out pretty well. Ooh, look at that. But I think I'm gonna fail on these potatoes. They're just not. They're not looking good. Not looking good at all. And this one looks like it's not too bad. Dark taste. Well, not good. Hot, but not good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like my videos. Share with your friends. Have a good evening. Be good to each other.